It's time for a little vitamin T. We've got Teresa Tomeo with us. Pope Leo XIV has proclaimed Franciscan Jubilee year beginning, and we're so excited about that. This probably went underreported, but someone asked him for more information. He said, well, for more information, just reach out to Teresa Tomeo. Yeah. Good morning, Teresa. How are you this morning?
I'm great, and I was talking with Matt Swain from the Sunrise Morning Show. You know, I've been talking with all of you wonderful people about this upcoming year, which we're now in the year of St. Francis. And when Matt Swain saw the announcement over the weekend, he said that the Pope's listening to my show. I'm like, yeah, right.
That's right.
That would be nice, but I don't think that's happening. But yeah, no, it's very exciting. So as you mentioned, Dave, he's made the announcement. We are now officially in the year of St. Francis, and there are all kinds of wonderful events that are going to be happening throughout the year. And on February 22nd, probably the most unique event happening this year for the year of St. Francis, they're removing his relics from the crypt below, and they're making them available for public veneration in the main altar of the Basilica of St. Francis in Assisi. So that will start on February 22nd and runs through March 22nd. It's a short window, but it's just a really unique opportunity. It's never been done in history, and he died on October 3rd, 1226, and so you have all these different events, obviously leading up to that big anniversary. But what's also beautiful in doing some research, and by the way, I never had the gift of being able to I never had children. Dominic and I were not able to have children, but I feel like I gave birth to a 20-pound baby because I put my new Italy book on St. Francis to rest on Thursday. I just felt like this whole... So my next Italy book is coming out this spring, and it's another shrine of Shrines and Wonders, but dedicated to St. Francis of Assisi. But there's so much going on, and it's just really exciting. And the 6 Franciscan communities came together, and they put out this beautiful letter all about what this year means. And I'll have some links to it on my Facebook page, and we'll be talking about it on the show. But for the year of St. Francis, it's very similar to the Jubilee Year of Hope, where they are saying that if you go to a Franciscan church, a church related to St. Francis of Port Clares, that it will be the similar situation we had at the plenary indulgence last year for the Jubilee Year of Hope. So it's a very exciting time, and I think it's a really great time to witness, because who doesn't love St. Francis, even if they're not Catholic, right?
Yeah. I work at a Franciscan university, Lourdes University. So when I saw this, I emailed our vice president of mission to see if we were going to do anything with this, because I think this is a great opportunity, to showcase what they do and their mission, and it's right here. I mean, it's not far from us in Toledo. It's not far from people in Detroit or in the Michigan area. So I'm hoping maybe that we will become kind of a spot of visitation. Beautiful chapel. We've got a Porciuncula that I go to a lot. So it's a great place. But I don't know, Teresa, do you know, are those things going to be designated by diocese? How does that work?
I haven't heard anything. That's a really important point. I haven't heard anything yet on the diocesan level. That's what I'm looking for, because as we know, last year with the Jubilee Year of Hope, the dioceses were all in, and they gave a list of different churches that people could go to receive the indulgence through the Jubilee Year of Hope. But I would think, given that there are so many Franciscan centers and churches related to St. Francis, the chapel at your university, in Detroit, we have the Capuchin Center, Blessed Solanus Casey, who is obviously a Capuchin, part of the Franciscan movement. So there's all kinds of different opportunities. I think that would be great. In addition to that, though, I do think that is a great time just to talk about St. Francis with people, because of who he was and what he did in such a short period of time in his life, and the huge international impact that he had. So, again, it's an opportunity to enter into a conversation with someone, and maybe if someone doesn't even know about the saints and how someone becomes a saint, I think that would be a really awesome time to do that.
Yeah, I mean, just this idea that it's available just by making a pilgrimage, as you said, to any Franciscan conventional church or place of worship dedicated to St. Francis. I mean, so it's like the Holy Father's saying, look, I want you to be able to take advantage of this. And I believe great miracles will come from it. And you already mentioned one, 6 Franciscan communities came together. I mean, come on, that's big already.
That's interesting, because when I was doing some additional research for the book, when St. Francis received the stigmata in Laverna in Tuscany, it was 2 years before he died. The Catholic Church says he's the first saint to receive the stigmata, the wounds of Christ. And the time he went up that mountain, which is like incredibly large, how he did that back in the 13th century, it's just mind-boggling. But he was really struggling for so many reasons, because there was all kinds of different, imagine this, division, in the different orders or in the church.
You're
They're
kidding.
arguing.
You're kidding.
I'm shocked and appalled. But someone as holy and great as St. Francis, even if you think about it, couldn't find an agreement with the brothers because some were saying that the rules were too strict. Others were saying, they're fine. We want to keep them. So there was a lot going on. And once he got the wounds of Christ, he had it for the rest of his life, two more years, but he suffered greatly and offered that suffering up for the Friars Minor. But there's so much about him, I think, that people don't know or realize in terms of his growth, his life, his conversion. And there's so many different places. And Deacon Dom and I had a blast to go around Umbria. Did you know what about the preaching of the birds, which took place outside of Assisi in the plains below Assisi? There are 3 designated pilgrimage sites just for that one experience, because there's a path. It's called the Path of Preaching to the Birds. It's outside the beautiful Umbrian town of Bavania, where there's a stone on which he rested during preaching to the birds, which is in the church. There's an outdoor sanctuary, and then there's an outdoor shrine along the road. And so this whole path of him preaching to the birds, and in my research I found a press conference that took place back in 2020 where the community of Umbria and the church in Umbria, the Archbishop, they got involved in an effort to protect the land because they were going to put solar panels all over this area where it was known that Francis preached, and they fought it and they won. And they built this beautiful outdoor sanctuary. It has this amazing statue of St. Francis, and the title of it is Go Fill the Sky with Song, talking to the birds. There's an altar, a marble altar with birds carved into it. There's an open area for seating for Mass or a prayer service. Then you've got this outdoor shrine. You've got the Church of St. Francis, Church of Bavania. I've been going there for 25 years. I knew he preached to the birds, and I knew it was in Umbria, but I didn't know exactly where. And I was just flabbergasted at these beautiful places that most of us, when we go learn about St. Francis, we don't visit them. So in my heart, I really want people to really go off the beaten path and think about him and how he just did commune with nature, but it was all about reflecting God.
Teresa, tell us a little bit about the special opportunity while the relics are present, including his body. Again, something we've not seen ever since his death.
We still have that trip available. We have about 8 people that have signed up. We need a few more to get it to go, but we're extending that $500 discount per person. We leave on March 9th, and so we have our tickets for Wednesday, March 11th. We're already officially scheduled to take a group there on March 11th, which is really important because you can't just walk in for the veneration of the relics. Normally you could. You just walk in. It's free, of course. But for this, because they're expecting so many people, you have to have a scheduled appointment. So we have an appointment with a Franciscan guide who's going to explain the whole process, what they did, how they did it. And again, it's a very, very limited opportunity. They're only doing it for a month, from February 22nd to March 22nd. In addition to obviously having a tour of Assisi and seeing St. Clair and St. Carlo Acutis, we're going to go to some other areas associated with Francis, including Gubbio, which is my favorite town in Umbria next to our little village, where he tamed the wolf. We're going to Spoleto, where he had his reversion, his conversion. We're also going to Greccio, where he established the first creche. So it's going to be a great trip. It's a little shorter than most. It's about 6 nights. But again, we're offering a $500 discount, and it's on my website at teresatomeo.com, or you can call Corporate Travel locally in southeastern Michigan. I'm really excited about this trip because it's so Franciscan. It's just all these little places that people don't normally go for him, especially Spoleto and Gubbio, which are really cool towns.
I mean, we wait 800 years for this, and we have 30 days.
That's right, yeah.
I know. Yeah. I was going to say, if somebody just goes there, they still got to get tickets, right? I mean, if you're only...
Yeah, there's a website you can get tickets. But, again, Deacon Dom and I are going to be there anyway. We're going back for this event because I have to tape some more segments for my EWTN series on St. Francis.
Okay.
But we'd love to bring the group with us if we can get enough people. So please think about it.
Awesome. Thank you, Teresa Tomeo.
Thank you,
Thanks, Teresa.